I'm going to read briefly from chapter 1 in my book, The Bloodied and the Broken. And it occurred on October 26, 1965. Indianapolis, Indiana police answered a call saying a young girl had died. When the cops got to the dingy, rundown clapboard home to which the anonymous caller had directed them, they found the emaciated dead body of 16-year-old Sylvia Marie Likens. She was covered with bruises and small wounds, later revealed to be cigarette and match burns that numbered over 100. There were also large areas of her body where the outer layer of skin had peeled off. Likens also had a big letter 3 branded on her chest. However, the most remarkable injuries, by far, were the words in block letters that had been burned directly onto her stomach. "I'm a prostitute and proud of it," with an exclamation point at the end. Thus ended one of the most horrible crimes ever committed against a single victim. The crime had been perpetrated by an informal group of teenagers and children, some as young as 11 and 12, led by a 37-year-old woman. That woman's name was Gertrude Banaszewski. Although it looks like it looks, if you pronounce it phonetically, like Gertrude, like it looks like Banaszewski, which in some ways sounds a little more ominous. Sylvia and her younger sister, the 15-year-old disabled Jenny Faye Likens, she had a limp due to polio and a brace around that leg, had been boarding with Banaszewski since early July. Okay, now I mentioned it later in the article, but one of the worst injuries that she had was, in a certain sense, inflicted not directly by the tormentors, but by the pain she caused. Sylvia Likens had bit her lower lip so often in her agony that she had actually severed her lower lip in half. That's how great this young lady's pain was. Okay, and I do talk about the tortures that she endured before her death. And one thing that she was forced to do twice by this 37-year-old Gertrude Banaszewski was to strip in front of the other kids, some of them her own Banaszewski's children, some of them neighborhood children, and then shove a soft drink bottle up her vagina. As I already mentioned, she was burned repeatedly with cigarettes. She was beaten repeatedly. She was kicked in her genital area so frequently and so hard that it had swollen up. She was also denied the right and ability to use a toilet and forced to urinate and defecate on herself. She was deprived of normal food and deprived of drink and forced to eat excrement and drink urine. Okay. Okay, now that's the first chapter. There's also a kind of a similar one about that occurred in 18th century England, and that's in chapter 4, the Elizabeth Brownrigg case. Elizabeth Brownrigg being the murderer, torture murderer. And there are some eerie parallels. But anyway, I hope that some of you will consider buying and reading The Bloodied and the Broken by Denise Snow. Thank you.